Only the second ever all-time meeting between Air Force and Utah State. First was November 8, 1969, here in Colorado Springs, won by the Falcons 38-13. Welcome back to the Springs, the Rocky Mountains. What a setting. Dave Ryan, Adam Archuleta, former star defensive back at Arizona State. So, Chucky Keaton, Heisman candidate. If you ask the folks from Logan, Utah, first half, 227 total yards. What do you think?
Well, things started out absolutely brilliant for Utah State. Right off of the bat, he dials up a long bomb to his wide receiver, Travis Van Leeuwen. The offense looked like it was poised to do some great things, but then mistakes on the defensive side of the ball allowed Air Force to kind of climb their way back into it. That was a little bit unacceptable, but strange game today, but Chucky Keaton looks pretty good. Little mistake in there with the interception, an overthrown ball, but for the most part, he's looked very good out there.
All right, let's check out the highlights. First half, great start, certainly for the Aggies, 14-0 lead. Right off the bat.
Right off the bat, he dials up Travis Van Leeuwen for the 30-yard touchdown, similar to last week against Utah, and then Joey DiMartino with a little 2-yard run. But then Air Force gets back into the game. Jalil Awini with the quarterback keep to get them on the board. Defense trying to do their part for the Air Force Falcons. Jamal Byrd with the big interception.
And Diaz had a big day with field goals as well for Utah State. Our Evan Washburn on the sideline spoke with Air Force head coach Troy Calhoun.
Well, guys, the message from Coach Calhoun is they've got to find some explosive plays, and the positive is he says they're there, but the obvious problem, the drops. That was a big issue in that first half. He addressed it in the locker room, but things were overall positive. He also says we've got to corral Keaton when we have the chance. He echoed that message, though, that we heard from him yesterday in the meeting room. Get this thing to the fourth quarter, keep it tight. He likes his team. Best shape of any team he's ever been a part of. That was his message yesterday. He echoed it again today.
And Evan talked in detail about the training that goes on here at the Air Force Academy. It is no easy matter to get into the academy academically, to succeed here athletically. Jake Thompson kicks off to begin the second half. Koss will wisely watch that one go back for a touchback. Let's review the 5-hour energy first half stats. Arch, what stands out to you here?
Well, Air Force, they have 100 yards rushing, but 45 of those are from their quarterback, Jalil Awini. And if you talk to Troy Calhoun, he does not want his quarterback leading the charge. Big story today, penalties for Utah State allowed Air Force to get back into it in third down conversions. Lopsided as it gets, Utah State 6 for 8. And Air Force really struggling on third down.
Jalil Awini, 45 rushing yards, 52 passing yards first half. Begins the second. The running backs are not a factor in the first half. Rowan Hart and company would like to definitely make some headlines in the second half. Between the two, only 23 yards in that first 30 minutes for Air Force. Dowdy has another tackle, give him 7 for the day.
And they started out with more of a traditional formation. Jake Dowdy had a chance to tackle at the line of scrimmage, but he missed his heart, and a nice gain on first down. Something they've been very poor at in this game is their runs on first down.
MacArthur in motion. First down play, another flag flies. Back up Air Force 5.
Number 59, 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
Partner, that's the 14th penalty of the game.
Yeah, both sides. Both sides have really struggled with penalties, and that's unfortunate for Air Force. They get a big gain on first down, something that they haven't been able to do, and now they're looking at 1st and 15. So they haven't had 2 or 3 positive plays in a row for much of this game.
First down play. It's John Lee. And he's dragged down by Kukala, along with Nick Vigil, the freshman. Gain of 1 there. First half average first down play for Air Force is 2.3 yards. Utah State had 7.2 yards per. So you're right, they want to capitalize on the nice run there by Broham Hart, but the penalty hurts that. Second down. First carry for Aaron Clinton Earl. It stands for Ace. That's a perfect nickname, right? Aaron Clinton Earl had a nice pickup. The sophomore from Milwaukee had his first career action last week against Colgate, 10-yard gain.
And just the same exact play that they ran on the first play from scrimmage. A little different. They didn't run this play at the beginning of the game, but a nice nice job by the left guard, David Lohr, to open up that hole.
Awini keeps, rung up, Mitchell got to him. Ball came out, official saved, and Jaleel Awini was down.
Ruling is the runner was down before the ball came loose. 4th down.
Nice job by Glover Wright to come in here and knife it, but you see heads-up play by Nick Vigil to get that ball out. Ball security has to be paramount if you want to play quarterback here at Air Force.
Great call live by the officials here. Van Leeuwen is quickly back to receive this kick. He and JoJo Matson having deep. Nice punt by Basket. Van Leeuwen, fair caught at the 11.
Van Leeuwen with their catch, first down, Utah State.
So Chucky Keaton, who had 399 total yards against Utah in that loss last week, originally a commit to Air Force, and we had a nice chat, you, Evan, and I, Arch, this week with the junior from Houston, Chucky Keaton, about why he changed his mind. He said for his family, once he realized, thought about the military commitment, what it was going to involve for not just 4 years, but 9, 10 years, depending on which branch of the Air Force you go into, it was going to be too much for him.
That's a huge part of it, coming here to play at Air Force.
First down play. Catch made by DJ Oliveira, a senior from West Jordan, Utah, has his first grab tight end. The Y wide receiver spot also for Utah State.
Number 91, Yalapala.
Joey Nickel, junior from Austin, Texas, makes the play. Spoke with Joey this week, who told us all off-season they have tried to install defensive schemes to combat the multifaceted weapon of Chucky Keaton. Not easy to do. Catch by Reynolds on the sideline, bumped out of bounds there by Gavin McHenry, sophomore from outside Denver.
And this is the thing in college football, it's a numbers game. This was a called run, and because he had the numbers outside, not enough defenders for Air Force to cover the quick bubble screen, Chucky Keaton gets it out to a wide receiver, easy gain.
Today's First Down Live being brought to you by Navy Federal Credit Union. First down for the Aggies. Quarterback draw play. Chucky lunging forward. Is out to the 28-yard line. Barnes on the play defensively. Sophomore from Odessa, Texas, west part of the state.
Second and 7.
Sophomore.
And that was a good job by the Air Force defense. The Aggies lined up 3 wide receivers all the way close to the right sideline, and the Air Force was forced to adjust. Keaton saw that he had the advantage for the quarterback run, but a nice job of rallying and limiting it to a 3-yard gain.
Here's Keaton trying over 200 yards passing at will to Van Leeuwen. Played defensively by Gavin McHenry again in space defensively for Air Force, but a nice pickup. Van Leeuwen had the opening touchdown grab. He said after that loss to Utah last week, despite his huge game, 105 yards, 107 yards receiving, the individual stats don't mean much. He wanted to beat those Utes so badly in his final game against Utah. Third down play. Fake on the jet sweep. Catch is made. Keegan Anderson has his first grab. Stopped by Christian Spears. Anderson is the son of former Utah State head coach Gary Anderson, now at Wisconsin.
They line up Anderson off the ball, and on the snap, he goes behind the line of scrimmage, and the linebackers, they lose him. It's a cornerback blitz, and he's able to sneak out to the flat for the first down pickup.
Play fake. Keaton fires. Swindle has the grab inside the 40. McHenry again on the tackle defensively for Air Force. Chucky Keaton sees the field so well. Now up to 232 passing yards.
Well, he had all day long Air Force, the Falcons on defense, blitzed their 2 middle linebackers, and there was an absolute wall of protection. Chucky Keaton had 6 or 7 seconds to allow that play to develop. There was nobody back there in coverage.
Gain of 24 on that play. Chucky's got 41 career touchdown passes at Utah State, 3rd all time in Aggie history. He's something else. Robert Marshall gets involved in the offense for the first time. The senior from Dallas has his first carry of the day. Reggie Barnes makes the stop.
And really what you like to see Utah State, their first possession here in the second half, going down the field and convert, makes it real difficult on a defense.
Keaton will keep on the match play. Chucky Keaton points out some help from blockers. And he's nailed at the 25-yard line. McHenry again in space, makes a nice play defensively against the elusive Chucky Keaton.
Yeah, nifty running the zone keep, and he keeps the ball, but then he ends up bouncing outside. Nice blocking by his wide receivers.
Gain of 10, 55 rushing yards on the day down for Chucky. Over 1,000 career rushing yards in the game today. Jet sweep fake to Natson. Keaton throws on the move. Reynolds intended receiver at the 12. Is incomplete.
Let's go!
Well, I thought Keaton had a lot of room to run on this play, but you can see he has the ability to run, but he's a throw-first quarterback. It was wide open for him to go ahead and run and pick up some good yardage, but just at the last second, his wide receiver comes free, the ball just a little bit too low.
Second down. Pass brought in. Touchdown, Utah State. Ronald Butler has his first career catch, and it's a touchdown, 23 yards out.
Well, Utes come out after halftime, and you talk about giving the defense multiple looks, quick screens, quarterback draw, short, quick passing. You had a play action down the field, just doing a nice job spreading the field and making the Air Force Falcons cover every single part of it. Masterful drive to come out here and start the third quarter.
Nick Diaz tacks on the PAT. Butler, the junior from Jersey City, JC transfer. Was recruited by Texas, but upheld the commitment to Utah State. First career catch, and yeah, it's a big one, a touchdown.
College football on CBS Sports Network is being brought to you by Napa. Napa Know-How. By Navy Federal Credit Union. 4 million members, 4 million stories. Navy Federal Credit Union. And by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Fraser Chapel, the Air Force Academy, the youngest of the 5 U.S. service academies. First class, graduated in 1959. You graduate here, you're a second lieutenant in the United States Air Force. The academy also one of the largest tourist attractions in Colorado. More than 1 million visitors each year. It is spectacular here in Colorado Springs. Lacoste will let that one go. Touchback. And Air Force will get it at its 25. Chucky Keaton Arch on the last drive, 6 of 7, 70 yards, 13 rushing yards too.
And you wonder how Ronald Butler is able to get wide open. Here's his partner, Travis Van Leeuwen. Watch the pick on the linebacker who was responsible for covering Ronald Butler. See the block. Nobody out there, bad communication. The corner does not exchange. And that's an easy entrance into the end zone for Butler and the Utah State Aggies.
McCarthy looks for room. Low drag down from behind. Big defensive play there for Utah State. Let's go back down to Evan.
Guys, a lot of big hits on Owini this afternoon. They've taken their toll. During that last time off the field, they looked at his right wrist. Trainers put some extra tape on that right wrist. That's his throwing hand. He worked on some passes on the sideline, some pitches. He looked to be all right. Obviously, he's out there, but something to keep an eye on with ball security already an issue with Owini.
That's such a huge part, having the ball handling in this option offense. Play fake here for Owini, who throws on the move, and McCarthy this time does hang on. Outside the 30-yard line to the 32. It's shy of the first down for Air Force.
Play action pass. He's looking downfield. It looks like Wrist doesn't seem to bother on that throw. That was a nice, crisp pass.
Quick to the line, then the check with me to the Air Force bench based on Utah State's formation. Third down. Falcons need this one. Pitch play. Going nowhere fast. Zach Vigil makes the huge play defensively for the Aggies.
Zach Vigil has been sideline to sideline all day. Time and time again, when the Falcons try and get outside, get to the perimeter, he is right there. And he's coming off a monster game last week, and he has picked up the slack for the defense here this afternoon.
Loss of one on that play. Van Leeuwen is back to receive the basket punt. Fake. Basket. Diving. Needed the 35.
Yeah, based on the spot, I don't think they're going to give it to him.
He's way short based on that spot. And Utah State's going to take over with a short field.
Well, they tried to make it happen, and Utah State said they were ready for any fakes that the Falcons would try and run. And it was right there. Nobody fooled. Nobody went for it. Nice job of playing on the punt safe. And the hustle from the inside, I couldn't see. That might have been Zach Vigil again running from inside out. I couldn't see the number, but another great hustle play by Vigil.
No gain on the play. Keaton and company back on the field. Chucky fakes to Reynolds. Keaton keeps. Cut back. Chucky Keaton inside the 20. Down to the 16-yard line. Nifty footwork again for Chucky. All right, so top of the broadcast, I said from watching the film that reminds me of Colin Kaepernick. I've covered Colin in an unbelievable game at Boise State when he was at Nevada. Went like 4 overtimes. He had about 600 total yards. He was amazing, and obviously a great quarterback. You've seen him now in person. Is Chucky the next Colin Kaepernick?
Oh, they're different. Colin Kaepernick and the offense that he ran under Chris Holt in Nevada, there were more designed runs for Colin Kaepernick, and he was a big part of the run game. You look at Chucky Keaton, he's a throw-first quarterback that has the ability to extend and create with his feet.
I like it. Good comparison. Hill shut down. Joe Hill sent backwards. Christoph George, the sophomore from outside Dallas, only had 1 tackle last week in the win over Colgate. Effective on that play.
And this is what you have to do. This was a blitz. George was able to easily beat the block by number 66, the right tackle, Eric Schultz, and make a play in the backfield. Nice job of shooting your gun, getting your pads low, and making a play.
Loss of 4. Call it 5. Van Leeuwen, fake play. Keaton, end zone, touchdown! Wheel route to Joe Hill! From 20 yards out.
Really tough position for the linebacker, Christoph George, to have to stay with Joe Hill out of the backfield on the wheel route. But the accuracy, the pinpoint, that throw was outstanding by Chucky Keaton. These two drives after halftime, this is the way Utah State wants to look on offense. This has been as crisp as they've looked here this afternoon.
Diaz on the PAT. Perfect for Utah State. Chucky Keaton, 25 of 33, 275 yards, and 3 touchdown passes. And we're just underway in this second half. A perfect wheel route executed there by running back Joe Hill. The junior has a TD grab. Not much currently for Air Force to cheer about. Down 38-13, Mountain West opener for each team here. Joe Hill, a touchdown grab from 20 yards out from Chucky Keaton, his 3rd touchdown pass of the day. And Art's a program, Utah State, that really burst onto the scene last year. 11 wins. Their 2nd ever bowl win, beat Toledo in the Idaho Potato Bowl. Chucky Keaton was spectacular. Thompson kicks off here. Yet another touchback. When we come back, we'll talk more about Utah State last year and where they're headed in 2013. Air Force gets it back when we return. Well, as we talked about, great 2012 season for Utah State. 11 wins. The prior record had been 9 in 1960 and 1961. They came so close to beating Wisconsin as well. Got that win over Louisiana Tech, then number 19 in the country. Perfect in the WAC. And their second ever bowl victory. That came over Toledo in the Idaho Potato Bowl in Boise. Their defense, Arch, in the first quarter was unbelievable. They outscored teams last year 138-9. 9 points in the first quarter.
No touchdowns. That's incredible.
That is. Here's Awini. In trouble. Feeling some heat. Fires downfield. Nearly intercepted. Incomplete the 45-yard line. Not much going well here for Air Force, unfortunately. Garrett Griffin, intended receiver. Chucky Keaton coming so close to committing and coming to Air Force. As Coach Wells told us this week when we asked the first-year head coach about his star quarterback, football IQ off the chart. Understands the offense as well as any quarterback he's worked with, and he's coached a lot. Second down. Awaiting the pitch, here's Lee. Trying to make some impact here in the second half. Hit hard on the play there by Maurice Alexander. Armed Forces football proudly supported by Golden Corral. So bursting onto the scene, Arch, we saw last year what Utah State did. The loss to Utah doesn't help, of course. That would have really been a big impact victory for them. But still, it's a program that really turned some heads.
Well, they've been an afterthought for 30 seasons. And now they're a team that can go out. You have to bring your A game if you want to be able to play them. They will bring it week in and week out now. No longer are they a cupcake when you see them on your schedule.
7-game win streak for Utah State ended with that loss last week in Salt Lake. But, boy, you turn the film on. First thing you see is Chucky Keaton. Some seriously athletic receivers. And on defense, speed, athleticism, size.
And really, that's
dangerous
what
team.
They have size. They have big guys up front on the offense and defensive lines, and their linebackers, their secondary, their wide receivers, their skill position, they have speed. So they've been doing a great job in recruiting and getting the type of kid that can come to Utah State and compete. Gary Anderson did a masterful job with this program.
Well, you're right about that. En route to taking the Wisconsin job. Winning season in 2011, and then with Matt Wells as his offensive coordinator, 11 wins last year. 346 total yards of offense for Chucky Keaton, 3 touchdown passes. Let's hear from the star junior from Houston, Texas, about the Aggie team goals.
The ultimate goal is always going to be the conference championship, and after that, it's wherever the chips fall. If we wind up in a big-time game, then that's where we are. If it's not, then that's where we wind up being, and we just have to play as hard as we can for that game. But the conference championship is definitely going to make it all worth it.
In their first year in the Mountain West, and Chucky Arch told us this week when we spoke to him on the phone from Logan, well, we probably can't go for the BCS title game now after the loss to Utah, but we have a lot we can accomplish. There's Matson, lines up next to his quarterback, Chucky Keaton on the option, and he's dragged down after a short gain. Heisman Trophy, that's what they're thinking about, Evan Washburn and Logan, Utah, aren't they, with Chucky Keaton?
And it's a full campaign, Dave, and it started with a trading card, or much like a baseball card, if you will, and it was sent out to all the voters of the Heisman. It highlighted what Keaton has done in the past, showing you his accolades, his numbers that he's put up. There's also been a social media campaign, hashtag Keaton for Heisman. And when we spoke with Chucky, I asked him specifically, what's it like to have all this attention? And he said, I'm a quiet guy, I'm a Gemini. I think much like yourself, Rhino. He said, my dad says I'm low maintenance, but whatever gets Utah State's name out there, I'm behind.
Gemini's, all good, Arch, right?
Yeah.
June 20th for me, in case you want to put that in your iPhone for next summer's birthday gift.
So does that mean in high school you were out on the field, you were dealing like Chucky Keaton?
No, nothing like that. Chucky told us, as Evan pointed out, pretty mellow guy. Like to play video games, my off time, rest, relax. And he's not a boastful guy either, as coaches tell us, despite becoming quite a legend in Logan. Here's Reynolds on the sideline with another catch. Speaking of birthdays, happy birthday to your son. Archuleta boys, there they are, Jet and Hawk, and Hawk is 1 today.
1 year old, yep. There he is, the little guy on the right. And we didn't want to leave the other one, my oldest son, Jed on the left out, and his chance to get on television. But happy birthday, and I can't wait to see you tomorrow, big guy.
DiMartino carries there. You were on the phone earlier with your son about gymnastics. How do you do today?
I think he had a pretty good day. He looks forward to it.
Football player one day like that? What do you think?
Well, that's what he says. You know, whatever he wants to do, he's going to get a chance to do it. But
good genes there.
Yeah.
Athletically, that's for sure. Second down here. I think we'll have a good party tomorrow. Celebrate. Get back to Arizona. DiMartino wrapped up after another short gain here. Utah State will be more than happy to work some clock. Tackle by Reggie Barnes, gain of 2.
Well, going back to Chucky Keaton and talking about he's soft-spoken, when you look at him, whatever the it factor is, he has it, and he gets it, and he understands what it takes to be the leader of a football team.
Here's third down. See if that it factor can lead to a first. Van Leeuwen's got the sticks route catch. You better believe it. It's another first down. Nickel has his 5th tackle of the day for Air Force, gain of 6.
He throws such a tight spiral. The ball is always right there, and it's not one of those that looks like he throws a bullet, but it's a catchable ball, and that's a gift that not a lot of quarterbacks have.
Today's first down line being brought to you by Navy Federal Credit Union. Anderson, the motion man. Play action. Open. Reynolds. Touchdown, Utah State. Travis Reynolds from 36. Keaton's 4th touchdown pass of the day. And Utah State is lighting up Air Force.
A lot of wide open wide receivers today. Earlier you saw the Air Force wide receivers get past the Utah State secondary, but here in the second half, the passing game, the running game, Chucky Keaton, and this skill position crew that they have for Utah State has absolutely been on point. And right now, the Falcons really struggling on defense to contain this offense.
Diaz has another PAT. Keep in mind, the weapons like Travis Reynolds you told me about a moment ago, missing from last year, the top 5 receivers, including Kerwin Williams, great running back, now in the Colts practice squad, 7th round pick. He had 1,500 rushing yards last year, 15 touchdowns, 5 receiving scores. It wasn't just the wideouts, it was Kerwin Williams as well for Utah State.
And they've had a tradition here for running backs here as we take a look at the play that just happened. This is just a play action pass. They max protect with a tight end and a running back. And there's nobody out here to cover the corner out. It's just a complete drop in coverage. And I know Chucky Keaton's pretty good, but I think you or I could have completed that pass for an easy touchdown. That's
well,
I mean,
I've
you're
got
right.
a decent arm, lefty. I'm not sure. You could have.
Well, you're right. I can't throw the ball either. But anyways, a lot of people could have completed that pass.
And Lacoste again will watch that go 10 yards beyond the end line for another touchback. Jake Thompson had 3 touchbacks of the 6 hits against Utah last week. A Utah victory. Chucky's numbers in the 3rd, not bad. 10 for 11.
Their halftime adjustments in the way the offense has come out to play, defensively as well. This is a Matt Wells football team. This is how he wants them to come out and play every single snap. If they do that, this is a team you're going to have to deal with.
Drop again. At the 35-yard line. Roberts is into the game, replacing Jaleel Owini. So a quarterback change for Air Force.
And you have to wonder, are they just making a change to get Roberts or Harrison's, Roberts some experience, or is the wrist of Owini really that big of a problem?
Huntsman couldn't bring it in. Here's second down. Lacoste is tripped up right away. Tavares McMillan, junior from Miami, has his first tackle of the day. A limited role against Utah last week. Coaches told us they're very high, though, on his future. Was high school teammates at Miami Jackson High with Aggie defensive back Rashard Stewart. Here's third down. We'll play fake and an incomplete pass at the 25-yard line. Back down to Evan.
Well, guys, we talked about that right wrist, but this looks more performance-based. Elwini, no trainers around him, just walked to the sideline. He watched that initial play, and now he's just making his way down the Air Force sideline. Helmet still with him. So maybe just Coach Calhoun trying to get another body in there, see if he could find some rhythm.
I think so. The way things are going here, Evan down 45-13. Fourth 3 and out of the game for Air Force there. And Baska is back on a punt. JoJo Netson makes sure his teammates stay clear of the ball. And he goes pretty close to it. Your Matt Wells there said, JoJo, back up.
I got yelled at twice in high school for trying to field a punt like that, so good decision.
Arch, only 98 days to go in the countdown to America's game, the Army-Navy game presented by USAA on CBS Sports. Last year, 17-13, Navy won it. Last moment, Trent Steelman fumble for the Black Knights of the Hudson. It was his last Army-Navy game. He was driving in for the game-winning touchdown, and then he gave it up. And the Mids hung on for the win. Army's not won that since 2001. Army 2-10 last year. But if you beat Navy, that's the Super Bowl for those guys. JoJo Natson has the catch of the screen. Bird makes the play defensively.
It's a nice stick by Bird at the end of that run. Natson is able to get outside the corner, Quentin Bird. Good physical play out there.
Jamal Jr. from Tacoma, Washington, really loves the game. Troy Calhoun told us yesterday, Air Force head coach, about Jamal. Very tough season for Air Force ahead here. Screen pass. And a nice pickup again. Joey DiMartino, senior from San Diego, continues a big day. Spencer Proctor makes the play defensively. Gain of 14.
Utes right now, their quick screen game, you've seen an emphasis on that after halftime. Nice job by their wide receiver, Sean Johnson, out there blocking on the edge.
Marshall carries off right tackle. First down plays into Air Force territory. Third back physical player, according to the Utah State coaches. We spoke with Kevin McGivern, offensive coordinator. He's a co-OC along with Luke Wells, Matt's brother at Utah State. Second down mesh play. DiMartino staggers ahead inside the 40 down to the 39-yard line. Joey Nickel has another tackle defensively for Air Force. Falcons have a really tough schedule arch ahead here. After this one, looks like they'll go to 1-1 at Boise State, Wyoming at Nevada, at Navy on CBS, San Diego State, Notre Dame on CBS Sports Network October 26th. Troy Calhoun said maybe the most difficult schedule in his 7 years here. DiMartino slung down inside the 35-yard line.
A difficult schedule when you don't have your quarterback. Obviously, with the weenie maybe hurt, not having Pearson, and that makes things really difficult. He talked time and time again just about how he wishes that he had upperclassmen, that he feels like you have to have a ton of upperclassmen to be competitive and how to win here at Air Force, and he just doesn't have that. I mean, very difficult, very different circumstances to play football here than at a normal university.
That's the end of the third quarter.
Of the 44 in the two deep, you hope, according to Coach Calhoun, to have 36 who are juniors or seniors. He's got 28 this year. It's an inexperienced Air Force team. End of the third, 45-13 Utah State. You're watching college football on CBS Sports Network.